Hey, babes, welcome back to the Two Sober Girls podcast. We are your sober besties. We are your wellness sisters, your guides on this luxurious, modern sober girl path. And today we're diving into what sobriety looks like in 2025, what it looks like for us, because there are so many different ways to do it. And there's a way to do it that's fun, that's elevated, and there is a way to do it that's boring and dull. And we get to subscribe which one we essentially subscribe to. Some people lean into AA, some people lean into therapy, some people do it the spiritual path, some white knuckle it, some do a combination of all, some join our Sober Girls Mastermind, some um, focus on wellness. There is like no one size fits all. There literally is a million ways to do it. And I think I want to talk about this because when somebody says I'm sober to someone, that someone thinks it's just one way. That is just this like boring, really no fun. You've sucked the life out of me kind of thing. You must have a problem. You must be an alcoholic, like all of those things. And I just want to open up this conversation that it is not like that because we are living something completely different. And many women that we work with are as well. But we're also at the forefront of it to navigate how we want this to be perceived and viewed and shown, right? Like we wear our sobriety really proudly. I have tote bags with it that says sober is the new luxury. I walk around with my Sober Girls Mastermind t-shirt and, have it all throughout because I'm freaking proud of it because it is bold. It is a beautiful choice. It is a new way, a new fresh way of living because we've been sold the other way and it didn't work for me. It didn't work for you. It's not working for any of us. And so let's talk about it.
Amen. Amen. Yes. Okay. I love this topic. I'm so excited. As you're saying that, I'm thinking the fact that we're sober is like the coolest thing. That's like the foundation of what makes us, like, I think, wonderful. Like, that's like, I'm so proud of it. While there are seemingly many different paths, I'm going to say something, and it's just this is my belief. This is the best path possible. If you are truly, truly looking to not drink, live an alcohol free, sober life, connect with human beings that are inspiring, loving, and supportive, and get better every day, whether it's better, physical fitness, mental, spiritual, this community, Michaela, that we've created is the best path. It's the modern alternative to AA. And also I'm saying that I'm in AA. AA is my church. I love going to my church. It's my spiritual solution, but AA focuses on the spirit and we focus on everything. And so we bring it all together. And no, it's not boring. There's nothing boring about this community. I mean, I can't keep up. The energy, the beauty, the fun, the vulnerability is so awe-inspiring. And I know we say this, we have to pinch ourselves that we get to be sober and hand to God, feel better, live better every day and walk through it together. And so, yes, there are many ways if you want to put down the drink, but this way is the best. And with that, we're always welcoming anyone to come experience it because my beginnings in sobriety, I didn't know what the heck AA was, AA, and I thought it was so depressing. And yes, you know what? Many meetings, Michaela, are in church basements. I'm not gonna lie. And there are meetings I walk into and I'm like, that one wasn't for me. I'm not leaving inspired. I don't feel connected. But my home group and my little niche that I found is glorious as my church, as my rootedness to go into my spiritual solution and connect to my creator. But this lifestyle and like talking everything that we talk about from beauty, relationships, parenting, social situations. I've never found anything like this.
Yeah. And I think what we do really well is so we're both obsessed with optimizing our body, our mind, I have been before I became sober. You have been before you became sober. So you were an athlete, you were really into biohacking, you were really into detoxing the alcohol out of your body, as you say. And I used to do the same thing. And now that we're on the other side, and we get to really see and feel all of the work that we've been putting in all of these years, because I always say I would do all of these things. A lot of the things I do now, I used to do when I was drinking. And I would still feel like crap, obviously, because I would be hungover. There would be, the alcohol would stay in my system for days and days, even if it was just a little bit. I was listening to Huberman speak. I think he was on this talk show, and I was like, yes, this is being talked about now. And he was telling the talk show host how no alcohol amount is safe for anybody. The amount that would kind of be okay is 2 drinks per week, which, let's be real, that's very impossible if you are even moderately drinking. And yes, there are unicorns and there's people that can do that, but we're talking to another group of people that cannot do that. And even the way that comment was perceived, like he stood his ground. I want you guys to like check out that clip. Like I think it was a recent clip. He was on like a late night talk show or something like that.
It's
And
Bill Maher.
they
We
laughed
just
at
yeah.
they laughed at him. They were mocking him, and he just stood his ground and was like, yeah, you can think that way. And because they were like, yeah, you're going to live a miserable life or something like that. Something along those lines. And he was like, yeah, and you might live a very short life. Like, because come on, you guys, like that was, and I was just watching that. I was like, yes. So, it's just so interesting because there's always going to be opinions, but do not let other people's opinions shape the way that you will do it. Do not take on other people's limitations and fears. And let's just say this, jealousy, that you can actually do this, because this lifestyle, it's on a whole other frequency. You will be glowing if you are, if you are doing the wellnessy things. Again, there's a different way to do sobriety where you're not doing the wellnessy things and you are not doing things for self development and growth. So, there are different ways again to do this, but we're talking about, now you have this time to focus on yourself, to not be hungover. And how are you spending your time now? Like, what are you filling it with? If you fill it with the right things, you're going to be just wildly successful in life, in your health, in your relationships, in your connection to God. Things will actually stick, and we want that for you.
And you will glow from the inside out. And I'm so happy you brought that up. I'm just was saying the two sober girls just reposted that. If you haven't seen it, Bill Maher,
Yes, it was you.
Michaela. What I'm dying about is that one, okay, Andrew Huberman, all right. So like he's fit, healthy, happy, like so handsome, so smart. He's winning, right? And he's looking at them like you're justifying doing drugs like on TV, and I'm telling you the scientific facts. And I love that we talk about him a lot and his work in this space in our mastermind. Like that's another thing I think that makes this so cool. Listen, when you said something earlier about you don't have to, if you have a problem with alcohol, even if you don't have a problem with alcohol, like you don't think you have a problem with alcohol, you have life problems. Alcohol becomes a very convenient solution because society says, here, drink at this, numb, you deserve it. So every human being has problems. What we do in our mastermind, in our sober community, is how are you solving those problems without alcohol? Like, how are you actually healing from the inside out? How are you addressing that difficult relationship that maybe that's triggering some old wounds from childhood? How are you healing your gut microbiome so that you can repopulate your neurotransmitters in your brain? Like this is what we talk about because we want to feel high from like from our own supply. We have this body, this life that really when you start doing the right things and you tap into phenomenal teachers, it gets easy, it gets better, but then you can laugh at, like, they're justifying doing drugs, and, like, look at the person that's trying to teach them, and you would think they would say, "I think he probably should be listened to. I think he's credible, he's living it."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, we live in a polarity type of world. So that you're always going to get that. And I think as long as you understand that that's what it is, it's like a polar opposite sort of thing. But just maintain your integrity, maintain who you want to be and the type of life that you want to live. I think that's something that you and I have established early on is because of the wellness space that we have always been in, that's always in my eyes have been viewed as like something different or something extreme or something difficult or you're too much. I've been told that. I've seen the looks when I would decline something and I would choose something else. This has always happened to me. So I'm almost immune to it, but I want to shed light on it that that's what happens. And if you've never been into wellness, if you've never been into sobriety and really lived outside of the norm of the way people live, because when you step back, you're like, whoa, none of this shit is healthy. And that's not to put blame or shame or any of that, but just taking a step back of saying, I'm sovereign and I get to choose what I put into my body. I love you. You do you. I do me, and live from that space. Eventually people will respect it and the ones that don't will fall away. And that's okay. Beautiful, great. But I feel like we've always been around that and we've learned how to navigate almost like ninjas of like, oh, and laugh it off and say something if it's needed. Sometimes we have to stand up for ourselves and really just sometimes give it to them.
Yes.
But most of the times I kind of don't give a, you
I'm just
know?
too happy. Not but it's almost like,
Yeah.
do we go to the ocean and say, "Can you please calm down today? You are way too much. Like, that's too many waves, and you're too beautiful, and who do you think you are?" So why are we doing that with God's creation, with human beings? Like, I want you Michaela, I want you to be too much. I'm championing you to be too much because I need that. I
Amen.
want to look and be like, "Isn't she glorious? Look how beautiful she is. I'm so inspired. Teach me what you're doing." That's
Yeah.
this community. But
Yes.
so, Michaela, let's kind of paint this picture for everyone listening, because, like I mentioned before, I didn't know what AA looked like or felt like, right? And so until I walked in. So if someone's walking into our community for the first time, and of course, we're the alternative to AA, the virtual alternative. We do have some live events and some, we're going to do more of that, but it's mostly via Zoom. What, let's paint that picture of who they're going to see, what's it going to feel like, what's going to happen so that they can kind of get comfortable with this idea of your new sober home before they kind of join us.
Yeah. So it's definitely, you're in there and you open up your mind and your heart. It is an instant activation by seeing the women in front of you being vulnerable, open, solving problems in real time, talking about them, not putting blame, owning up their side of the street and cleaning it up. And like you mentioned, all of the different topic. I mean, coming from a health coaching background, and I've created many courses in the wellness space on different topics. We bring all of that into the mastermind because it is a lifestyle. It is not something that you just choose to remove alcohol and continue on your merry way. It is learning new coping skills because, quite honestly, I was never taught healthy coping skills most of my life. And so we're learning alongside of you because this work is never finished. You could be 20 years, I could be 5 years. We can still be dealing with the same sort of problems and issues and triggers. Everyone's timeline is a little bit different, but one thing that I see is when a woman that we speak to heals, there's a part of me that heals because we are mirrors to each other. And I feel this every call. And honestly, so we've added 2 more calls per week, I don't look at it as like extra work of like, oh my gosh, I gotta, we have to get on another call and talk about things and teach things. I look at it as a way of, yes, we are teaching, but also it's a way for me to heal. It's a way for you to heal. It's a way for her to heal, and all of us in there. Um, and so I've never been part of a space that is so constant. Like I've been part of courses, I've been part of masterminds, that I pay lots of money to be in. I do think we make the price very reasonable for what it is, for what people get. And, you know, that aside, I feel like every day I get to really work at being the best version of myself, because I have women and other women doing sort of the same. And that's really thrilling to me. I've never been part of a space that's physical or virtual. I've been a part of many because I always was seeking these things. And we really get it. We really have cracked the code on supporting each other
Yeah.
and doing the work individually, but also together. And it's a lot of fun, I gotta say.
It is a lot of fun. And we really do cover everything from, I'm like kind of like as you were speaking, thinking about all the different things we cover from postpartum and our greatest fears, like this last weekend's call where I was weeping, to what eye patches are you wearing and what do you do for your skin? Like we cover the entire
It's very
lifestyle. So
goopy,
goofy and
sober.
fun and
Yeah.
sexy and like we can go deep and cry and then be like, "Oh, your skin looks awesome. What are you wearing or what did you just get done or like what facial do you recommend?" And so we're living together in this life. Every single thing, there's nothing off limits. But
Mm-mm.
like you said, we encourage everyone to go back into their work like as their coaches. Here are some things to practice, to try, to implement so that you can go deeper into your sobriety and into your health and wellness and beauty and fun and vitality. Um, yeah, so it's truly is like, and I do love like continuous learning. I'm on a bunch of mastermind courses, and there's nothing like it.
Mhm. There's nothing like it, and in fact, I had one of my best friends came over the other day. I was actually she asked me to help her with her dating profile picture,
Oh,
for an app. She's like, "You're so good at photos. Let me," interestingly enough, we were talking about self-development and doing things like that, and this journey has been getting her on that path of like, "Oh, I realized I need to ask for help more," and things like that, and so she was like I was like, "Oh," and I want to give this to you guys, but she was like, "What can I ask for help about today?" And she was like, "And I thought about you because I needed to update my pictures." So just to throw that out there, it's like, you know, it's it was like so amazing to see, because the growth in her and the conversation, we ended up talking about 2 hours about so many things. And then I'm looking at her, I'm like, "You would love being in our mastermind because we talk about all of this."
she would.
And it was a lunch conversation. We had tons of iced coffee and it was so much fun. And we didn't need to, and this is a friend that I used to go to brunch with and go out and party with. And, I'm teaching my friends new ways of communicating and connecting and living and being and enjoying life and laughing and looking good and putting yourself out there, like all of these things.
Right.
So life doesn't stop when you become sober. I will say there are hard moments,
Yeah.
and that's something that one of our members said, like, you guys really share that there are tough moments, but there are ways to move through them in a graceful, beautiful way. And so I'm not saying this journey, you decide to get sober, you decide to recreate your routines and all of these things, you join our mastermind, that your life is going to now be perfect for the rest of your life. We're not saying that. We're saying it's going to be more lighter. It's going to be more manageable. You're going to feel more supported. You're going to feel just lighter. You're going to feel guided, like all of those things. So, life is not going to stop. Life is going to be lifey
Yeah.
forever. You
Yeah.
are a human being and we have feelings and emotions. And sometimes we can't control the way our brain works. And, there are certain things we can control and there's things that we can't. And so it's just learning how to navigate it all in the most loving way. And we're doing it. It's not like we're telling you guys to,
Mm,
drink your water and don't do this and do that. It's not like a boot camp. It's you get to customize what it looks like for you. But you know what? Let us show you a couple things that work for us. And you feel free to try this on. And if it works, it works. Keep it. If it doesn't, let's find something else that works.
yeah. And, to that extent, life expands in sobriety. Like people have this fear of like, life expands and gets bigger and more magnificent. And we help guide you every step of that way because things that you probably never even thought would come into your world do. And it's like, but
Yeah.
everything gets bigger and everything is more, it's possible in sobriety.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's big. There's a huge, life gets really big and wild, but, and
And
hard.
fast and
Yeah.
beautiful and all of those things
Yeah.
because, something I was thinking about earlier, and I heard somebody say this, so it made me reflect on, when my time is done here on earth, I want to look back and be like, I did it. I went for it. I did difficult things that I didn't think I could possibly do. I followed my heart. I've heard the nudge of you should not be drinking for so long, and I finally took the steps to do it. And committed, right? Commitment. What are you committing yourself to? Because your external world reflects that. Everything you see in your life is a mirror of your thoughts, your actions, the way you speak to yourself, the way you speak to others. And when that shifts internally, guess what? Your external world is going to shift. And I've practiced this in so many different scenarios and ways. And it is magical, you guys, when we shift our thoughts, when we shift our beliefs, when we shift our actions. This is, we call it Joey D, Joey
Yeah.
Dispenza's work,
Our
and
best friend.
many others, right?
Yeah.
Neville Goddard and all
Yeah.
of the great teachers before us.
Yeah.
All of those things, that really works. And it is really simple, but you have to learn to practice it and be committed to that.
Yeah.
Because what I see people doing, and I've been part of that camp, is they'll read the book. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That works for them. They might try it for a week, perhaps meditate, perhaps like rewrite their thinking, reframe their thoughts. But then guess what? Their regular thoughts are still the same. Their actions are still the same.
Yep.
The way they react is still the same. And so they're like, that doesn't work for me. That's too woo. That might work for you. No, really freaking commit. It's hard work that those first couple tries, and then just make it an experiment. I love looking at life as a beautiful experiment. That's like another thing. It's like, you know what? I'm going to get sober. I want to see how good it will really get and really
Hell yeah.
drive my mind and my subconscious mind in that direction. I didn't say, you know what? My drinking life was so good. It was so fun, but I just know it's not good for my health, but I'm going to remove it. And now I'm just not going to be fun anymore. Like, this is my new identity. No, I
No.
said, I still want fun. I still want aliveness and luxury and abundance and
Hell yeah.
fun. So
I'm
there's
way more fun on this side. Doing drugs is not
totally
fun. You are
no.
actually you showing up. And Michaela, it's something you were, with reading the books and doing these practices. You know why you fail, everyone? Because you're not in community. If you're doing it by yourself, good luck.
Yeah.
I read every book
Yeah.
out there. I was by myself. I continued to go back to the drink. I needed community. And that's a lie from the pit of hell that you think it's not that you still want to be, you actually become the best version of you in
Yeah.
sobriety. My thing is, let me see like the best. I actually feel like we're aging in reverse. Like how young, youthful, energetic can I be? Like that's how right? Like I'm like,
Oh
this is
yeah.
wild. This
Oh
is
yeah.
wild. And that's like the path that we're on.
You
Like,
can't buy a
oh,
supplement for this, you
babe,
guys. There's no supplement.
it's
Even if it's like,
wild.
no, yeah,
I forget
it
my
is wild.
age because like I feel younger than I did in my 20s. This is sobriety, but back to it. good luck doing it by yourself. I'm sorry, but like
Yeah.
you're
No,
not going to do it. You're
I
not.
think about it now,
You're not gonna
every
know how.
course that I've taken, like really high ticket courses, whether it was my nutrition certification or yoga certification or how to create a business course or just courses all of those things. And these were like, some were $10,000, some were $5,000, just putting things into perspective for you guys that we have been doing the work, investing in our own self,
Oh
into our
yeah.
work. And so, but all of those things were in community.
Yeah.
Because if somebody just gave me a book or a course and just said, you know what, figure it out on your own, I'll be like, okay, I might get really excited for 3 days because that's how my brain works. And it's that dopamine of like, yeah, we're going to change. But guess what? If I don't have anybody saying, oh, this worked for me, this didn't work for me, let's hop on a call, have some accountability, seeing somebody like go
Yeah.
further than me to be motivated and inspired, like that's why those things worked,
Yes.
so
You
it's
become like your surroundings. You need other human
yeah,
beings. And I always love being part of a team because it's a team effort. And like the better I play, the better you get to play. And we're
yeah,
all on the same team. So sobriety is like the ultimate team sport. Our mastermind is the ultimate team. We're your coaches. We're ready. And
yeah. And
it's
it's like,
just,
what team are you signing up to?
yeah, let's be part of the winning team, the cool team. And again, you have to come experience it. I think the best way is for you to just message us and come experience it because we created what we both desperately needed. Like the end of the day, like me and you came together divinely because we were looking for this. What didn't exist until we created it. And now we're like, come on, everyone, put down the stupid drugs and start living and start
Drugs
feeling
are so
incredible.
stupid.
They're so
Oh, they're
stupid.
so stupid.
And
All
they
right,
just rob
guys.
you of all the good stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah,
go team go.
we are hopping on our call
Yes.
in
Oh, yes,
a
we are.
minute.
Whoa.
See you on there.
Love you
The party
guys.
continues. Love
Yes.
you guys. See you next week. Stay sober, stay all the good things, and keep the drugs out of your life. Amen.
Don't do drugs.
Bye.